Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Hammer Time Podcast. This is your host, as always, Cade. Alongside me is my usual recap and reaction partner in crime, Mr. Jake. The usual sharps themselves this weekend, yet again, off of another profitable weekend. Incredibly profitable, if I may add. When does it end? Like, at one point, are we just going to stop? You know what? Never. How about that? Huh? Yeah.
It almost
Take
did
that.
for me, but we prevailed.
We did. We all did. I have no idea what else to say. It's like I expect it to be like every week, and honestly, it's going to be funny because this week the games are so good, and I am so excited for this weekend that it might be this weekend, but I'm going to enjoy the games either way. Hopefully, it's not the case. This week, on the other hand, if you have the numbers up, you could go ahead and kind of let us know how we did because I don't really have it in front of me, but feel free.
Alrighty, so I was the worst. I went 12, 10, and 1. Stupid Nebraska. 55%, which is still profitable. I think I won like a unit. You went 12 and 6, 67%. And then Dylan can't stop winning 12 and 5, 71%.
Yeah.
Which puts total for the year. I am now the bottom at 82, 47, and 1, 63%. Cade is 58 and 31 at 65%, and Dylan is 44 and 19 at 70%, which brings our total to 184, 97, and 1, 65% as a group. Dylan won the head-to-head on the SMU TCU under 63 and a half.
By the way, but whatever. I digress.
What?
I said BS, by the way. I digress. It's all right.
Yeah, that was a bad ending to that. Me and Dylan agreed on 3 plays. We lost 2 out of the 3. Texas Tech, Utah over. Illinois plus 5.5. I'm not even going to talk about that. Rice, and then we won Rice money line on Thursday. Hell yeah. Don't lose to food. Oklahoma State lost. And then for all of us, we went 1-1 and 1. Oklahoma minus 6.5 won. Nebraska plus 3 pushed, and Baylor minus 2.5 lost. So I also would just like to point out that my losses this week were horrendous.
It was actually
I got cooked on the most diabolical stuff this week. For one thing, I'm actually going to recap some of my losses this week because I was mad. Because I'm getting cooked over here in the Discord, and not even my fault.
It was all in good fun. It was fine.
I wasn't even talking. I know I was joking too.
Okay.
So
people thought we were actually pissed off at each other. Like,
I know.
Relax.
That was the best part. So SMU plus 7. I'm never betting SMU again. How do you not cover that game? You're literally within one possession the entire time, and then just absolutely lose your minds at the end of the game. So I get a bad total on Syracuse Clemson. I get over 55.5. It closes at 54.5. Of course it hits 55 because Angeli tears his Achilles and Clemson just sucks. I hate Clemson. I hate them. I'm never betting a Clemson. Unless I'm betting against Clemson, I'm not betting Clemson this year. The Army game was brutal. Storm all the way back and then lose in overtime and are stopped at the 2-yard line. Their quarterback got hurt. I lost 2 games this week because a quarterback got hurt.
I didn't even realize that, really. And we still went to OT with that? That's dumb.
Yeah. Push Nebraska plus 3 because I didn't buy the 3.5. Always buy the hook.
Mm-hmm.
NIU, Mississippi State is up 21 the entire game. There's 2 minutes left. They go for it on 4th and 6 inside their own 50 because why not? And then they go score a touchdown. So, stupid. Everything else was fair. I don't know why I expected Florida's offense to do remotely anything. Illinois gets the doors blown off of them. ECU fucking sucks. I'm sorry for cursing, but holy crap. All I've heard all year is BYU's terrible. Bear Bachmeier sucks. You know what they just did? Beat the doors off ECU. ECU, their quarterback threw a pick six from his own one.
I don't even know if that's necessarily called a pick six at that point.
It was 1st and 10 at the 1 yard line, and they called a curl route.
A screen was yeah.
Run it. Anyways, that was my weekend. Thank God for the no fun league that helped me go more positive yesterday. But yeah, I'm here to recap some games and try to not lose all my money.
It's all right. It's at least there's like this is where there's 3 of us because you guys kind of pick your poison, and then you're not allowed to get mad at us whenever we lose because there's 3 of us.
Just so you know, I get just as mad as all you people. I promise.
No matter the wager, yeah. Just to clarify,
I could have $5 on the game.
I could. Yeah, I was gonna say it would be like a $10 no sweat, and I would like be infuriated and like go and beat. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that on air. But anyways,
yeah, let's avoid allegations, please.
Please. Yeah, we do have some games to break down before we get into it. Gonna do as always is promote us. Gonna promote the pod. Gonna promote the Discord. So without you guys, obviously, this weekend was phenomenal weekend chat yet again. It was vibes were up. It was pretty sweet on Saturday because it was just kind of like I don't know. I don't want to say it's unexpected, but it's just like we kind of preached that this week was going to kind of suck because of how the games and the line sucked. Well, the line sucked. The games were okay, but the games, the way that they turned out, sucked. But yeah, make sure you guys are following us. Make sure you download, like, subscribe, follow, review, and all that jazz. And then join the club Discord. They had a lot of new people this weekend as well. Shout out Kevin. I think we got like the entire population of Ocean City, Maryland in our Discord now. It was pretty sick. Yeah, and then chat also funded a new microphone. That's probably why I sound a little bit better today. So shouts to you guys. Appreciate you. So we're going to get into this game. We went over our weekend. We gave you the bets again. It's on you if you didn't tail. But now we're going to break down the big ones. So I'll let you kind of obviously do the breakdowns as we've kind of been doing, same rhythm as always, and kind of just go from there and good old yap sesh about this week 4.
Yeah, we'll start with the absolutely awful officiating that occurred in Auburn, Oklahoma, which happened in Norman. Oklahoma wins a top 25 ranked matchup again in Norman, 24-17. I don't know what to make of these 2 teams. Oklahoma keeps winning. They keep covering. They keep like looking slightly impressive, but they just cannot run the ball. Like there's not a part of me that wants anything to do with anything Oklahoma future wise because they can't run the ball. Like as good as Mateer is, as good as these receivers are, this O-line has a problem run block and really even pass blocking, but they can't run the ball right now. The defense is elite, which we saw on Saturday. They are going to keep them in every game they play. And like looking at their schedule, there's not a game that like they could like they're 100% going to lose. But it remains a question, especially when they go and play Tennessee's defense and Texas's defense and Texas A&M. Well, not Texas A&M's defense, but you get where I'm going with that. Like they're going to keep playing elite run defenses, and definitely something has to change there. Because if you put it all on Mateer, at some point he's gonna make a mistake eventually. He's not perfect. So a good win at home against the top 25 team. It was 100% a penalty and 100% should have been called the whatever his name is, the transfer from Arkansas.
I can't name him, but yeah.
You can't fake run off the field and then run a route for a touchdown. It's illegal. It says it in the handbook there. So on the other side for Auburn, you got to be able to run the ball better. Same thing with Oklahoma. Like I think they ran for they ran better than Oklahoma did, but still really bad. Jackson Arnold, he's just not an SEC quarterback. I hate to tell everybody. I feel like we talked about it in the preseason though, and we talked about it in these types of games. He can't throw over the middle. So if you're asking him to do things that he's not good at, especially when you're trailing, like he's not going to be able to go march you 75 yards down the field with his arm. It's just not going to happen right now. So I think they're a decently good SEC team, but I would say the ceiling's probably 8 wins at this point just because of the limitations offensively.
This one wasn't pretty by any means.
No.
Yeah, it's so I don't want to say the difference is that Oklahoma found a way. The other side of that is that like some can kind of question the referee play in that. That's kind of iffing on, whatever you want to call it. What a legacy cover, I must say, also.
Appreciate it.
I mean, that wasn't so it ended at 7. I mean, I had the opener, obviously, so I was winning either way, but I know a lot of the followers and everything, you guys had like 6.5s, these 7s.
Me and Dylan both had 6.5.
That's nuts. All else aside, Oklahoma's 4-0 now. If I'm like Oklahoma in this case, like you take this game and you just throw it in the trash and you just move on with your season, in my opinion. Like that's how you gotta kind of view this one. They have a lot of positives, but there's plenty to work on. An off week and a Kent State contest obviously coming up, or Ooh. Yeah, look ahead spot there, by the way, guys.
Yeah, might be on Kent State.
Okay. Honestly, that would not be a terrible play. That sounds stupid. Anyways, I don't know what else to say other than Oklahoma's defense. I think the third phase of the deep, like the secondary in a general sense, I think they need to give themselves some credit big time. Shutting down an elite portal hall, we've kind of talked about multiple times, is this. Because on the offensive side, it was far from their best effort, but it took a little bit for Mateer to got going in the second half. Passing efficiency wise, they were actually pretty solid. And then he also on the ground, I believe it's 10 consecutive games now where he has at least one of each, one through the air and then one on the ground. So I did not know that. I did think that the receivers kind of improved though. I like Keontae Lewis and Deion Burks. They did make some noticeable plays. But they didn't get a ton of targets. It was just like some side stuff that they kind of were looking at, which did impress me in the long. But we've said it in the Michigan preview. The defensive line is unbelievable. Like I know that I said that this was like close to Bama's. Viewing both teams now, this is like not even remotely close to Bama's anymore. Like that they're in a tier of their own. And it's very, very noticeable. They do undoubtedly have a little bit of luck in their favor, though. So that is one thing I think we can point out. But they're tough. There's going to be some debate around how the game went overall, but it comes down to winning. And again, they're 4-0. They've had more winning moments, and they're far from like an ideal good showing in this kind of game. But they can find some comfort in knowing that there might not have found this outcome in this type of setting last year, though. I will say that. So,
for sure.
At least you got the job done.
Yes. So I guess we'll go to the next one, which is Michigan, Nebraska in Nebraska. Michigan wins 30-27 in a tight game for the most part. I believe this is now 29 straight losses to ranked Big Ten teams for Nebraska.
Ouch.
Last win was 2015. Michigan, I mean, I broke it down in the preview. I literally, the two questions I had is Nebraska going to be able to run the ball and not put it all on Raiola? And is Michigan going to be able to run the ball so well Underwood doesn't have to do anything through the air? Both of those questions were answered. in this game, and I think for the long run through the season. Raiola's going to have to do everything for this offense, and he looked good for the most part to me. I mean, 30 for 41, 308, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. I think you'd take that any day of the week. I thought they played well enough to win, but offensively, I thought they did. Defensively, this run defense is going to kill them. They just can't stop anybody. I mean, Haynes 17 for 149, Jordan Marshall 6 for 80, Bryce Underwood 8 for 61. Also said it in the preview. Is Bryce going to use his legs? He used his legs today or on Saturday. I think Michigan showed that they have something offensively that they have not had in a long time, and that's QB run going along with the inside zone, the zone reads that weren't actually zone reads. So, like, I personally think that the OU loss helped Michigan a lot. Like, I feel better about Michigan 2 weeks after the Oklahoma loss than I did when they lost, with how they've looked. I mean, the running game has looked great. Defensively, I mean, they stuffed the run like we thought they would. They kind of had some problems through the air, but you're probably facing a very good top level Big Ten quarterback. So I think Michigan still has everything to play for. You go play Wisconsin next week. That should be a pretty easy win. And then you've got USC. So I think Michigan still has a shot to make the playoff personally.
Oh, absolutely. If Oklahoma keeps doing what they're doing, I mean, they're going to be in a good spot. It's a really good quality loss at this point. So
yeah, and we talked about it in the preview for the season. Like, this schedule, we kind of thought Oklahoma was a loss. You go through the schedule, if you beat USC or Ohio State, you're 10-2 with your losses being USC or Ohio State and then Oklahoma, 2 potential playoff teams. Like, there's a chance there even after how bad 2 weeks ago looked. I think Underwood he looks comfortable, even if it's not through the air. He plays the part.
This is another one that didn't necessarily look pretty, but for Michigan's case, it's a statement win, because after that week 2 game at Oklahoma, like, this is like kind of, I don't want to say it was a must win. I'll just put it that way. Because at this point, look at it this way: if Nebraska wins this game, suddenly they're in a conversation for a Big Ten maybe berth, potentially, to some people. Compton.
I mean, if they win that game, it's possible.
Yeah. And then on the other hand, I mean, all the playoff conversation that was at the beginning of the year, of course. They have plenty to clean up, but again, at the end of the day, the win's a win. And the couple takeaways that I kind of took is Bryce Underwood is definitely going to be good. However, they're going to rely on their backfield a lot more than him, probably.
Yeah.
They have no pass catchers to help. And it's not like he struggled. It's just like he doesn't have anybody. It's like, it's Michigan's run defense and it's the run offense and their defense overall that just kept them in the game as a whole. But then again, that's Michigan football.
Always.
That's literally their bread and butter. Like, there's nothing. Yeah. But I think we did learn Barham and Derek Moore might be the greatest defensive line duo in the country right now. And it's like one of the better working formulas that we've seen from edge rushers. Like, they cannot contain these guys in the game. I mean, they had did they have 3 sacks between the two? I don't know.
Probably. They were
overall though
all day.
It's just like their edge rushers, dude. They've like over the D line as a whole, they could not be stopped. It wasn't just Barham and Moore. It was the entire. It was the entire unit as a whole. They dominated the trenches. It kept Raiola pretty much I don't want to say stressed, but it was off his platform for majority of the game. But I mean, they got to him 7 times, and pressure was like coming from pretty much everywhere.
Moorhead 1.5. Barham had 1.
Okay, so I was close enough. But again, Cameron Brandt, TJ Guy, Rayshon Benny, like everybody had something in there to do with this, and it just the only problem, like they got bullied against Oklahoma, but that wasn't really the case this week. I mean, they did the work. The only issue I have with this Michigan offense now is that the self-inflicted wounds, they kept them in the game. So there was positives, but there's always going to be negatives, and that's going to come from obviously a coaching malpractice standpoint or a costly error standpoint. They dropped way too many passes, like alarming amounts of passes. I don't have a number in front of me, but I don't even know if that's available. But
no,
they were up 17-10, and like Nebraska's like, it's looking like they're not even going to score again on third down. The clock is moving, but instead of like Biff calling a timeout with like 30 seconds left to force a punt, he lets the clock go all the way down. Matt Rule calls a timeout, and then they get a Hail Mary to tie the game right at halftime. And at that point, momentum is a complete it's gone. And there's like death coming into the third quarter. Thankfully, that wasn't the case, because actually they responded. Players have to play, yes, but that put the defense in such a terrible spot. Like, it's, I don't know. And granted, yes, they do get Sherrod Moore back this week, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's just little things like that is going to keep this game a lot closer than what it should have been. And yes, box score watchers, it was not really a 3-point win, but realistically, it should have been like a 17-point win, if we're being real, if you eliminate that Hail Mary at halftime. But yeah, good win by them on their part without Sherrod Moore. That's huge.
Yeah, and for Nebraska, you get Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern, your next 4. Go win the next 4, and then you have USC. So still have everything to play for. Both. It's just one loss.
I'm not panicking. Yeah, I was going to say.
No, shouldn't be panicking if you're a Nebraska fan. It's unfortunate you didn't win, but like they showed things that will help them in the long run, I think. And then the last one we're going to hit hard today is the Big 12 best game of the day, which was sadly not Utah, Texas Tech. It was not SMU, right. TCU. It was Arizona State, Baylor, which Arizona State goes on the road and wins 27-24 on, was it a game-winning field goal? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, it was. Yeah. Arizona State looks like a team that knows exactly how they want to play and how they want to win going into these games. It didn't work out in the Mississippi State game. And to be honest, they dominated the second half of that game. Like, they do that for a whole game, they probably win. But I think just the coaching edge that Arizona State has week in and week out is so big with Dillingham and just knowing what he wants to do. We thought this whole time they're going to come in, they're going to run for 350 yards, and they're going to get out of there pretty, they're going to get out of there with Leavitt throwing under 200.
Right.
Leavitt throws for 220, 22 of 32. Jordan Tyson, 7 for 43 for a touchdown. They ran the ball for 179 yards on 48 carries. That's not a great clip. It was definitely not the way we thought it was going to go. And I think that just shows that Arizona State, no matter what, can win in different ways. They ran for 3.7 yards per carry.
Yep. Baylor
ran for 4.7. They threw for 6.9. Baylor threw for 6.4. This box score is dead even. And I'm impressed with Dillingham, especially that team could have quit after Mississippi State losing that game, and now they've come in and they have beat They went and took care of business against Texas State. They beat Baylor on the road. Now they get TCU at home in a game they are favored in next week, which I'm sure we'll talk about Wednesday or Saturday. But on the other side, Baylor didn't do enough to win. I think that's like Sawyer played well, 250, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. They ran the ball good enough, in my opinion. They held a team to under 30. Like, if you told Dave Aranda that on Friday, he probably says, how much do we win by? Because he's probably thinking his offense is going to put up 40. So they weren't great on third down. They just didn't do enough to win. And their defense is just not disruptive enough. 1 sack isn't good enough. 5 tackles for loss isn't good enough. Like, it's going to be a defense thing, even though they let Arizona State only score 27. You've got to make plays defensively, and it's just not there.
Right. I agree. A lot of, they expected this game to be a shootout, myself included. I think I at least had the over. I don't know if you guys did or not. I forget. I think we just had like 2.5. Okay, that's what I thought. Neither offense it felt like could like build hardly any momentum for the night, but both defenses came out and made really big plays. And I don't the first half for Baylor, like it's one of the best first half defensive play I have probably seen from them that we will have seen this year, probably, honestly.
It's probably the best half they'll play.
It was the biggest question, like, heading into the week. Like, that's literally the reason that I took that total, was because of how bad that they have been. Like, they were allowing 40 points per game to power four opponents, and you get Sam Leavitt-led offense with a guy like Jordan Tyson, and it's like, like you said, that's mind-blowing to me. They had Leavitt had 58 passing yards in the first half. And yes, they gave him a little bit of problems on the ground, but overall exceeded expectations on my end and personally, because they made back-to-back crucial stops, because we talked about like extensively how good or how bad this defense is, like third quarter specifically. Because I remember I was watching this game because I was freaking sweating this total, hoping, okay, when does this game like break out? Like, there's no way. And Arizona State's driving. They're like inside the red zone, and they're up by 3 at this point. And like, Arizona State's going to be like taking like double-digit lead, like it's up by 10, and it might be it for them. They go for it on 4th and 1, and they get stuffed, and so they get back to Baylor's offense naturally. At that point in time, momentum obviously shifts, but he throws his first interception of the game, I think, of the year, if that. And so they give them the ball back in their own territory. And then on like the first play, like it was like a 30-yard run, and like they're back where they were. Yep. It was frustrating, to say the least. But Sam Leavitt, I think we did learn that he has a clutch gene. Like, he's one that did impress me for sure. And when you face a quarterback just like him, it's only a matter of time before he hurts you with his arm. Like, yes, he's good on the ground, and they, like, again, they played good, and the defense played good enough. But Leavitt was patient, but when he finally had the chance to make a big play, whether that was on the ground, whether that was through the air, he delivered. And you could say the same thing for Sawyer. I mean, like, he started really slow. Like, first 3 quarters, they couldn't get anything. Like, 10 points, they look stuck, they look lost. And then again, it's just like when you never need him to step up, like, dude comes out of nowhere, back-to-back touchdown drives to tie the game at 24, under 2 minutes left. And like, on those 2 like drives alone, he's up to 100 yards. Yeah, it was gutsy, but it's just like you said, it's just not enough. Unfortunately, he just didn't get the one last chance to drive down and take a lead or tie, whatever it was.
Yeah. Defense just has to be more opportunistic, personally. And we'll see if that can happen this year. But we will do a quick rundown on some of these. Those are really like the best games of the day. The rest of them were games we thought could be good, had the chance to be good, and just kind of running through. Miami beats Florida 26-7 at home with game day watching. I guess it's really just how far does Billy make it through the year, because this is just abysmal. The offense. The offense is just so bad. Lagway 12 of 23 for 61 yards. Props to them for running it more than they threw it in a game that they were down in. Like the one touchdown drive they had, like Jaden Ball was really good in it. But I think this just showed me that Miami is probably more legit than we thought. And I also think I think Florida's dead. I've heard rumors that Lagway may be done this year, that he may just get surgery and redshirt and transfer. So just things I'm hearing. We'll see. You never know with them. And once again, I don't think they quit. They're not talented enough, and they don't have a good enough scheme. So Miami's good. Florida, we'll see how many SEC wins they get. It could be very little.
Yeah, he's on borrowed time at this point. It's pointing out how much time Napier's got left isn't necessarily something that like I'm eager to do, but each loss is obviously going to force some sort of discussion. But right now, it kind of just feels like a win, not like an if kind of deal.
Oh yeah, it's a win.
Florida's defense, in theory, can obviously beat anybody. It seems like they had, I think, they had 2 guys get hurt in the middle of this game. Like they've held 2 top 5 teams to 26 or fewer, and much of it is not even, obviously, it's not even on them. Like,
their defense is elite.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
if they had a pulse of an offense,
they couldn't let like Miami convert like ever.
Yeah, they play their tails off.
I just don't. It's frustrating, and like I feel sorry for Florida fans because it's just like, what happened, dude? Like honestly, the offensive line is just continuing to anchor. Like I just don't understand. Again, discipline, overall performance. It's just not leading up to any hype of what we thought it would have been. There's a ton of blame, obviously, to put all around the entire offense. It's easy to look at directly at Lagway, and rightfully so. But then again, offensive line has not helped. And
the wide receivers are terrible.
Yeah.
There's no separation. We can blame Lagway all we want, but like I'd throw it in double coverage down the middle if there's nobody open. Like at least I'm giving somebody. The wide receivers are not doing anything. Like the running backs have been the big bright spot, but then you're going against one of the best defensive lines in the country. Like you're not gonna be able to run the ball.
I'm like a big Lagway fan, and I hope he does well elsewhere next year because he's gone.
He's gone.
But it's just insane to me, and like it's not all on him. Yes, there's some crazy, weird, dumb decisions. Like I just don't think it's 100% or roughly even like half. I don't even say half of it is on him, honestly, in my opinion.
No,
he's just put in bad spots. That's all it looked like, and I think this game kind of proved that. We know what he can do. So,
Indiana beats the doors off Illinois. So I was 2 weeks late. I thought this was kind of what I would see from Duke. Not that they'd beat him by 53, but I thought Duke was going to win kind of handedly because I always thought Illinois was a fraud. Now, I also thought Indiana might be kind of a fraud too this year. I think we learned Illinois is 100% a fraud. I got to see Indiana play someone else before I go and say that their resume says they're a top 10 team in the country. Obviously, I would like to see them do it against like someone really good. Like I'm super excited for that Oregon game in 2 weeks because if what they just did is real, they technically,
do not be surprised. Yeah,
statistically, they now have the best defensive line in the country. They stuffed Illinois on like 6 or 11 of their 13 rushing attempts or something, like one of the highest stuff rates in the country over the weekend. The havoc that was wrecked all over this game. Like, I mean, they just dominated them. Like, there's nothing for me to even go over. Fernando Mendoza looked amazing. The wide receivers looked awesome.
Dude, yeah.
I have no words for what just happened, because that I never expected that. I expected them to control the trenches a little bit, but nothing like that. And they murdered them, and they didn't stop. Signetti, I don't know what Signetti had on Bielema. I don't know if he's got a dartboard with Bielema's face on it or something, but that was just rude, to be honest. So
yeah.
Illinois got to get right back up and go play USC at home this weekend. Indiana's got
or never mind. You said never mind. Other way around. Yeah.
Yeah, Illinois plays USC this week.
Yeah.
Iowa plays Indiana.
Yeah.
So you guys got to get right back up and go play some big games. Like Iowa's a good team too. So I think I learned more about Illinois though. I think this team's a fraud. I don't care about returning production. We've now seen that the two best teams in returning production this year are Clemson, who's terrible, and Illinois, who, I mean, we've seen Duke. Duke looks bad. So yeah, Indiana could be for real. This could be another playoff team, and it could be better than it was last year.
I'm not going to overreact like crazy about this one, because Illinois was down multiple guys on that defensive side, key defensive guys, if you will. One being the secondary. They were out Xavier Scott. They were out Miles Scott, who was also ejected in that first half, which was probably the nail in the coffin. I think they waved the white flag early on this one and made it a lot more inflated than it was. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to try to overreact. Yes, I've never been an Illinois fan, first of all. I've never really I never understood the hype. I never thought that they could play in games like this once they played the right team. I just didn't think it would be this bad. Nonetheless, I'm Indiana offense, Fernando Mendoza, Omar Cooper. Good God.
Omar Cooper, dude. Omar Cooper.
Good God.
Yeah.
I have I'm not gonna. I have nothing. You if you watch the game, you know. It was like right from the start, like the very first scoring possession, it was just like, I didn't think it was going to be a bloodbath, but it was just like, that's the type of team that Indiana is. Like from the blocked punt that went for a touchdown, like right out of it, it was just, yeah.
It was crazy though, because Illinois comes right back and hits the bomb, and I thought we were in for like a close game, and then
like,
just and then downhill. It was just uppercut, and Illinois just laid there and just took every punch, every single one of them. Now they have to go play arguably an even better offense.
Yeah,
have
unfortunately. This is definitely a look ahead spot, honestly. If you're a bettor, you know, or a person who's followed me, you know, I absolutely love spots like these for this next week. AKA meeting fade. That's just pure. But we'll go into that on the breakdown in the morning huddle, of course. But I digress. I'm not going to overreact like crazy. But yes, it was impressive. Do I think that they can necessarily compete with the Ohio States, with the Penn States? Not yet. I got to see more. Like you said, Oregon's been 2 weeks. Show me something then. If we like what we see, then we'll know. But until then, I'm not really going to hang the banner on Illinois. So, but good win regardless.
In all honesty, I'm curious. I want to see this weekend. How do they get up?
Or even then, how do you respond from that? Yeah,
because now you go Iowa, then Oregon. So I'm curious. I'm curious what the mentality is on Saturday for them.
Is Oregon, is that at the zoo, or is that Indian? Is that Bloomington?
I think it's Oregon. Hold on, I can check. Yeah, it's at home.
Back-to-back tough road. Oh, it is at home
for Oregon.
Oh, back-to-back tough road games is going to suck, dude.
Yeah.
Because there's a really good chance that they just drop 2 in a row there. But again, like I said, it's that's time to prove it. So,
all right,
it is
next
what it is.
one. Texas Tech goes on the road into Rice Eccles and dominates Utah 34-10. Your Texas Tech Red Raiders, I should add, beat your Utah Utes, I should also add. This game was so ugly. I swear every time I looked over, there was a turnover. Like, how do you have... There were 4 fumbles and 4 picks. So, not all of them were lost. 2 of the fumbles weren't lost. But still, what are we doing? This is week 4. How are we doing this? Dampier, the problem with Utah, and we said it, was we think they can run the ball, but we were worried about the receivers with Dampier, because as much as we like Dampier, he's not a finished product as a thrower, and his receivers aren't there to help him. It's just because it's Utah. Like, Utah doesn't have these elite guys at out wide, and I think that showed. He threw for 162 yards in a 24-point loss. Threw the ball 38 times. So I think they're just going to have struggles against good defenses in the Big 12 trying to throw the ball. On the other side, I know Morton got hurt. Have you seen anything on that?
I still have not, because he's been like off and on hurt, because he was even hurt like for but then again he also comes out of nowhere, just like slings it like freaking prime Brady, and it's like, yeah, he's good.
The backup though,
dude, oh my god.
13 for 16, 172 touchdowns, had 61 on the ground. Why hasn't this guy been playing? He played well.
Yeah.
I mean, this just shows me this Texas Tech defense, the money that they paid is so much paying off. Like,
gross, dude.
It wasn't, you won't see it really in like the sacks or the tackles for loss weren't there either. Only 4, only 1 sack, but it felt like they were just around. They were.
It's the aura.
Yeah.
Can we make that a stat?
But I mean, no, we can't. But the secondary was flying around. I thought the defensive line and the linebackers played well. They were able to stuff Utah and not allow them to really run the ball over them. Like, I thought they went in there and they played Utah football, personally. Like, dominating defense and an offense that was opportunistic. And that's really what happened.
Yeah, I don't want to be worried about Utah quite yet because of how talented the Texas Tech is. I kind of owe Texas Tech an apology, because I slightly backed out on them after they lost Joyner, and this game just like, nah, like you're good. Try, like, we'll be all right. Yeah, they are without a doubt. I think, yeah, they're one of the best in the Big 12. They are probably the best in the Big 12 after this week, honestly.
Yes.
They never got into a rhythm, like quite literally. It was just
neither team did.
No, I mean, it was pretty. I don't want to say sloppy. I don't think that's the right word for it, but yeah, I just don't. I think it's turnovers. I think that's got to be what it boils down to for Utah. They had 1 turnover through the first 3 weeks of the year, and it was a fumble, I think, or whatever. I think it was a fumble at least. However, they had back-to-back fumbles in the first quarter just by punching it.
Yes,
and then Dampier has, was it 2 interceptions?
Yeah,
I think it was okay. Yeah, and then both led to scores. So overall, I'm not going to be too worried. We've seen Dampier, we've seen Jason Beck, we know what they can do. They're going to be fine. They are still talented. However, the defense, in my opinion, I don't think they really let up 34 points, because the offense Utah's offense put Texas Tech's offense in great positions.
Yes.
Pretty much. And again, I guess that kind of goes back to Texas Tech's defense forcing that kind of situation, because situational football, like they are good. Like really, really, really good. I'm excited to see them play out in this kind of year. I think Texas Tech has a couple of decently big games coming up. I know they go to Kansas State soon.
Oh, huge game.
Which I'm not gonna. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna act like I'm worried, but I think like that line will still be fairly short, honestly.
They're on a bye, then they go Houston, Kansas, Arizona State.
Dude, even Houston kind of looks okay. Then again,
Houston's
I'm
good.
not saying I'm going to be scared, but it's like it's not going to be. It's a bottom heavy schedule, bottom line.
Yes.
So we'll leave it at that. A little bit more to look forward to for that team though.
We'll go 2 upsets in a row real quick. Memphis beats 32-31. Memphis beats Arkansas 32-31. I'm mad at us for not betting Memphis. This was the letdown spot of the year.
Oh my god.
They play Ole Miss, then they go on the road to play Memphis, and then have to go home and play Notre Dame. And we did not even look at it. That's on us for sure.
Probably.
It's
on us, but we still went 12-6 or whatever.
Yeah. Arkansas had a chance to win, and then you get it punched out. This game went pretty much how people thought it was going to play out. It was a close game. It was high scoring. It came down to the wire. Props to Memphis, 4-0 with a brand new offense. Very impressive. So I think they're 4-0 out of conference too.
Yes.
So that's big.
They look like one of the better group of 5 teams now after seeing Tulane to Ole Miss, obviously, for sure.
Yeah. So I think we both are backing Arkansas this week. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So nothing changes for me Arkansas wise. I like we said, letdown spot. We kind of expected this a little bit. At least them not to cover. I personally did not expect the outright, but they've got a bunch of tough games. They're a good team. Arkansas is good offensively. Defensively, they're a joke. Yeah. I mean, Taylor Green is probably the best QB in the SEC.
At this point, it's not. I don't think it's a reach at all. Top 3 is most definitely, yes.
Yeah, top 3 at worst, but he's really good. And the offense is clicking, running and passing. It's just a defensive thing, and like they still in this whole year we said they're going to play spoiler all year.
Oh,
they're not going to win a ton of games. They probably won't make a bowl game. I took their under 5.5, but they have every chance to be competitive in every single one of these games.
They have a chance to be bowl eligible in every one of these games.
Yes.
Quite frankly, this one coming up is probably the biggest swing game of them all. Which, if you guys are not betting Arkansas team total over, Arkansas spread, or Arkansas money line, what are you doing? Because this is quite literally. This is probably going to be a 2-unit play for me again, honestly. And you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't even have to go over it in the breakdown, honestly. But instead of, like you talking about Arkansas, I guess I'll highlight Memphis. Brendan freaking Lewis, dude. Stud.
Not a goat.
Stud. I'm thoroughly impressed because my cap for the over practically highlighted Memphis's entire offense, and like they did what they needed to do through the air, but on the ground more so. 300 yards rushing on the ground for one thing.
Yeah.
Sutton Smith alone by himself had 150, which one of the better group of 5 running backs in the country. But even Brendan Lewis as a quarterback, he's like the group of 5 Haynes King, pretty much. Is like the best thing I can describe him. He's like the only guy I know that can go 200 yards through the air and then get another 100 on the ground and then lead his team to an absolute gutsy win. Besides that 3rd down run, if you guys watch the game, oh my God. Like he drug, I don't know who it was. It was an Arkansas D-line. And the dude's like on his back. He's like 300 pounds, and he's just like waltzing to the first down marker. Like I'm like effortless, and I'm just like, this dude's like Cam Newton, like prime Newton. Like this is nuts. So
Yeah.
big time props to Memphis. That's a huge win for your sake of a college football playoff resume kind of thing. Because as of right now, as it stands, driver's seat now after Tulane's loss, or UNLV struggling that hard against a MAC team, that's terrible. I don't think it's out of the question. Memphis, they have the harder schedule, obviously, when we know that, and we've seen that in the recent years because we say it every year. Like they're a good team, yes, but can they win the games that they're supposed to? At least we don't know. But this was a game that they were supposed to lose, and like they proved a ton of people wrong. But yeah, again, super terrible on us for not going with that spot. But yeah, you will definitely catch us doing that this week.
Yeah. Syracuse beats Clemson 34-21. Good job, Dabo. You go and berate your media for 30 minutes for no reason on a question they didn't even ask, and then you lose outright at home as a 17-point favorite. And Jelly's better than Klubnik. Like, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'd take him with a torn Achilles over Klubnik right now.
Get him in a wheelchair and put him like on the line.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And to be fair, Syracuse gets the ball, goes down, scores. The onside kick, great call by Fran Brown. Like, perfection.
Dude, that was perfect. Like unbelievable. That was like Sean Payton Super Bowl vibes right there.
Perfect. So they're up 14-0 before Clemson touches the ball. Then I think Clemson goes down, scores. Or no, so they were down 10-0 before Klubnik touched the ball. They go down, score a touchdown. Then I think the rain delay happens, or close to that. Looking at this box score, I just don't even understand how they lose this game. It makes no sense to me. Klubnik threw for 363 yards. Their leading rusher ran for 130. Like, the Ricky Collins, who came in for Angeli in the third quarter, threw for 34 yards and had -8 yards rushing. Like, it is so crazy how bad Clemson is situationally. 3 for 13 on third down, 1 for 5 on fourth down, 4 for 19 in key downs on offense. You have one of the best receiving cores in the country. I don't care. I don't care what stats Klubnik puts up. I don't care what stats they put up. This is a bad offense. I think Garrett Riley is going to be out of a job because this is just atrocious. And Clemson's dead. I don't care if they make a bowl game.
Yeah.
I don't care. They may not make a bowl game, but I mean, good God. I
have no words either. I don't really know what else to add.
No, I have nothing. Come back to me when you guys play SMU at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next time I'll look anywhere remotely Clemson's way.
That might be like a nail in the coffin type of play, though. I don't even say the nail in the coffin. That's like your corpse is laying there, but like it's like a felony at that point, murdering a dead body.
Hold on. So they're 1-3. Furman is an auto win. So they're 2-3.
Is it though?
Yes. Furman's an auto. Yes. Furman's an auto. They're 2-3. They're 2-3. They need 4 wins out of these next 7 games. At UNC, at Boston College, SMU at home, Duke at home, Florida State at home, at Louisville, at South Carolina. Tell me what 3 games they win. I think they beat North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. I'm not picking them to win any of the other ones.
Honestly, though, what's going to be funny is because, like, I know it's going to happen. Like, I feel like they're going to beat either South Carolina, Florida State, or Louisville. It's one of those 3.
No.
And it's funny because, like, nobody can see that right now. Absolutely nobody. But being the team, like, honestly, how funny it would be, like, South Carolina's case is a perfect example. That would be hilarious. Florida State's case would be even funnier because they might be in a really good spot to make a ACC championship for once. Like it could be, it would be so like canon of like college football for Clemson to play spoiler for one. No, I'm not gonna lie.
Their team sucks.
They do suck. They absolutely do suck. But like when you're looking at like a 17.5 Florida State favorite, like
I'm not taking Clemson. No.
What a like a sicko gross bet. No, I'll say a couple things about Syracuse and we can move on. Syracuse receiving core. Oh my god.
Good.
One of the best in the ACC without a doubt, dude. In their previous 3 games, nobody's reached the 100-yard mark on Clemson's secondary. And not only did they allow only 2 total passing touchdowns, like they got like literally.
Wait, you're saying that Clemson playing 3 teams that can't throw the ball, they didn't throw for a 100-yard receiver? What?
Correct. Crazy numbers, right? Crazy.
You're saying when they played a pulse of a passing offense, they let up a ton of yards? I don't believe you.
Okay, fine. Then I'll move on to the offensive defensive line. It's fine.
No, I'm saying their wide receiver core is impressive. No, I watched it.
No,
against Tennessee, but like Clemson just sucks. They should have lost to Troy.
Probably. No, not probably.
They should be 0.
Yes.
They should be 0-4. They shouldn't have a win. They didn't even deserve to win that Troy game. They didn't deserve it. The lightning delay ruined everything.
It's low key, yeah.
Yeah, no, Syracuse is awesome. I hate that Angeli got hurt.
I really do too, because they looked like so. Like then again, the backup doesn't look terrible, but their offensive line and the defensive line played like the best that they will ever play all year. I don't think we're going to be seeing that again. But
I was impressed. I was impressed when they played Tennessee. Like Tennessee put up good numbers against them, but because they were able to stay in the game.
We projected that like to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought they'd win by 28.
Yeah.
And they barely squeaked out. I mean, they should have covered.
Granted, Tennessee covered, but like it was like a sweat of a lifetime for no reason.
Yeah. Last game we'll talk about is TCU SMU. TCU wins 35-24. Josh Hoover won't get away from me. I can't. I want Sawyer to be better so bad. I will say there was some very crazy luck that this TCU team gets, and I do not understand why they get it. I don't know what Sonny Dykes has done outside of his football coaching that he gets these breaks, but it's like 4th and 1,000,000. And Josh Hoover just chucks it 50 yards straight in the air. And the SMU defenders are just looking at each other like, where'd the ball go? And then the TCU guy just catches it and just runs.
Was it Eric McAllister? Yes, I think it was Eric McAllister.
It was McAllister. Yes, it was McAllister. McAllister had 254 yards.
It was like a Randy Moss game.
8 catches, 254, 3 touchdowns. Every time I looked at my screen, I was just like, and there goes McAllister again. He's just running. You know how many times Gus Johnson would have said, there goes that man again. You know how many times?
I'm so happy that wasn't on Fox.
Dude, it would have been like Maserati Marv.
Me and Rob would have been.
Dude, it would have been awful. It would have been so bad. But yeah, TCU's good. They're good. They've got a big test coming up. Josh Hoover's a very good quarterback, whether he's lucky or not.
Agreed.
I'm very interested to see them play a good defense because we haven't seen it yet.
Also, yes.
I'm super interested for this game. It's a Friday night game.
It's a Friday night game. It's going to be one of the better. I think to be honest, like we thought that Texas Tech Utah game was going to be the best one. Like this is going to be the game of the year for the Big 12. Honestly,
I do think so.
I think the defense versus offensive game is going to be electric.
I think this one and potentially I think TCU Baylor.
Dude, low key, yeah. Movie.
I think if
Like the
TCU
total.
were
Oh God.
oh 90, and I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over.
The key
No,
number
but
of 122.5.
yeah. If TCU wins Friday and beats Arizona State, I think game of the year is TCU Baylor. But
Without a doubt.
TCU was able to run the ball, which SMU's defense is a joke. SMU's defense might be worse than Baylor's defense, is
It's
what we might be finding
out.
Kevin Jennings loves throwing the ball to the other team a lot.
I don't understand it. I really don't understand it.
And they can't run the ball against good teams. It's really just up to Kevin Jennings. So I still think SMU's a good team, but
Preston Stone would never.
Okay.
No, he might one up him actually.
He would. We watched it week 1 last year. Like SMU's schedule is still very manageable. They don't even have an in-conference loss yet. No. So they lost to 2 Big 12 teams. They still have the whole ACC schedule. You have every chance to go win the ACC. Like, it's right there in front of you still to go make the playoff, even if you're 9-3. So there are big problems with SMU's defense and their offense. And we're about to find out big about TCU on Friday.
Yeah. What a fitting ending to the Iron Skillet rivalry, though. Honestly, one of the best games of the series. At the time of what was the 2 best quarterbacks in the country is now probably the best quarterback in the country versus what are you doing tier
versus the guy who beat out Preston Stone
versus congrats. I'm just happy to see TCU's defense do well in this kind of game, because I for sure thought Jennings was going to have the type of game that he had against Baylor. That's what I expected, at least. He still had some sort of success, but they just slowed him down. They had a bull rush on Jennings. It felt in the fourth quarter, and it was he was just constantly making the internal mistakes. And I don't really know if there's much else to even go over with it. TCU's defense showed out. Josh Hoover proved himself, and now it's just all right, strap back in, because this one's bigger and a lot bigger. I'm so excited for this game on Friday. You have no idea.
Yep.
Which we will break down.
Yes, we will break down, and that'll do it. That is the breakdowns. I think we will go over the SEC stuff on Wednesday.
Yeah,
that's fine. When it's confirmed, and then go over some games.
I know there's a lot of rumors going around, so I'd rather wait rather than just jumping the gun on these annual people.
Yeah. And then, morning huddle Saturday morning. Are we doing 10 a.m.?
We're back. Yeah, we're back at 10 a.m. Fired up. I'm so happy to be back. It was such a good weekend, hopefully. And I'm going to keep saying the same things. Regression is definitely coming, but until then, we ride. So who cares? Once again, as always, appreciate you guys hanging out, listen to the boys yap yet again on eventful week 4. And then another week, another great week ahead. These slates have treated us so good so far. It just keeps on getting better. I don't even know how to describe it. So we'll see you guys more than likely sometime on Thursday, I believe. We're in the rundown show for Thursday night, blah, blah, blah. Slight promo. And then, Saturday, morning huddle. Be there, be square. 200 viewers last week, or 2 weeks ago. Good God. Shout out to you guys. But pop out again, and then we'll see you then. Peace and blessings. Love y'all. See you on the chat, and we'll see you sometime this week.